That's right, kids. Never trust the fart.
That intro's growing on me.
110. I love that intro.
I do too. It's growing on me. But
it's
I will
catchy.
say it's. I looked the other day. Obviously I listen to each podcast to see where we fucked up and stuff. On YouTube, it's kind of hard to find.
Hard to find our podcast.
If you just go to YouTube and search "Never Trust a Fart" podcast,
Yeah.
you get like a whole bunch of people that shit their pants.
We don't have enough stuff yet. I mean,
that what it is?
Yeah, we only got like the eight videos
episodes,
or something like that on YouTube. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I mean, it's not a super original name. It's not like I made this shit up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a pretty common saying. By the way, Daddy White wrote in to give us his death pool, and he said that he doesn't remember his last shart. I don't fucking believe him. Daddy White, you're not too good to shart. Calm down.
I don't know.
Just admit it.
I'm telling you, he told me, and this is
Well, he lives a diet of rice.
a diet of rice. That's what I was saying. Who's going to shart when you eat rice every fucking meal?
I don't know.
He said his wife literally buys rice by a fucking bag that's as tall as him.
He has kind of lost weight since he got married.
Well, he's eating decent food.
But
His
it's
wife
usually the
cooks.
opposite. Usually people gain weight after they get married. And
Yeah, but
he's
this is
actually
different.
lost weight because he married a lady that
Have you ever seen
makes
his
some
wife?
food. Yeah, she's a
She
small
weighs
lady.
probably 95 pounds.
Yeah.
She's probably healthy as a fucking horse, eats healthy veggies and rice and this. I guarantee she's not going to fucking Taco Bell.
I know she's small because Paul looks normal in the pictures.
He does. But I met her, and she was thin, and you looked at her and said, all right, that woman's pretty healthy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she eats,
Well, I don't know if it's healthy. Is it healthy by choice? She came from a third world country. That food wasn't available. You know what I mean? Like
no.
Maybe she had no option but to be skinny.
No, she's from the Philippines, but she's been living in Hong Kong forever, in the mecca of Hong Kong, working there, and I just think they eat healthier there. You don't see a whole lot of fat Asians.
Yeah, they do. I don't think they eat processed food, really.
They don't.
They go get some fish
And there's
they
not
eat
a fucking Arby's on every fucking corner in a Taco Bell.
But they also eat some weird shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
and I told you, that's my thing. I don't eat fucking weird stuff. I just can't get it down.
Well, you're just not used to it. I think if you were born and you're eating it from the very beginning, you wouldn't think it was weird.
I don't even try weird stuff.
Like what?
Not even weird. If it's something that I don't normally eat,
Like falafel?
I won't eat it. I've got this weird thing. I think I've got a texture issue, and I think I've got something fucked up in my brain.
Maybe you're autistic.
No, I'm not.
You don't fucking know.
I am not autistic.
Yeah, I don't know. You just said you had a texture issue.
Well, a lot of people have texture issues.
Yeah,
they
a
don't
lot
like
of
the way
people-
something feels in your mouth.
And a lot of people are on the spectrum.
Seafood. I don't eat seafood.
I think you'd be surprised how big that spectrum is and how many people you know that you wouldn't think anything's that weird about them that are probably still on that spectrum.
Okay, so in the 2 years we've been doing this show, you've labeled me old and ready to die.
Yes, definitely.
Racist.
Definitely racist.
Homophobic.
Oh, yep.
And now I'm autistic.
I said possibly. That's all right.
Come on, dude.
I might be autistic too. Who knows?
You might be a tad.
I'm just saying you have texture issues. I don't have texture issues.
I just if I didn't grow up on it for some reason, I just can't eat it.
Yeah, autistic people have a hard time changing habits.
Yeah, but I don't sit in the fucking chair and do this all day.
Neither do most.
I'm not autistic, fuckface. I just don't like certain foods that I don't
I'm
eat.
just saying you might have autism. I don't know why you're so offended about it. There's some great people that have autism. Elon Musk has autism.
I don't.
You might.
You might be a fucking hermaphrodite. Your pussy might just be tucked up under your nuts where you can't see it.
No, I felt around enough down there. I'd feel a pussy.
It could still be something. You could have a flap over the top of it, and you miss it all the time.
I hope I don't got a flap.
I don't know, man. I just can't eat weird stuff. Like
I know, but you haven't even said what's weird yet. I mean,
well, because to you it might not be weird, but I went when I was married.
I'm not autistic.
My ex-wife, very ambitious eater. She was very thin, but she would try new stuff.
Sounds like a whore. Oh, I mean, sorry.
No, she was definitely not that.
That look you gave me, though.
Oh, because I don't bash my ex-wife.
I know
like
you don't.
a lot
You're
of people
super
do.
nice about her.
I just don't.
You know, I don't. I don't know. You might bash that first ex-wife, but you don't because I've never even heard of her.
No, because I had nothing to bash there either. I was young, dumb. And,
you don't talk shit, or you don't talk as nice about her, I should say, as the second one.
Well, I think if it was...
I think you're going to be super cool
honestly,
to the third one, though.
There won't be a third one.
Yeah, right.
if my ex-wife and I had split up in a real shitty way and she was truly a bitch, I'd rip her apart. But she's not.
Well, yeah, I would rip
So why rip somebody apart that's not? She's a fucking great mom. She's cool as fuck, and we just weren't it. But my first one,
your ex-wife's not a whore. Let's move on.
if I had to sit here and think about what my first wife looked like, it would take a few minutes.
That's weird.
It was 30-some years ago, dude.
True.
And I actually sometimes, my ex-wife, and I think of the name, and then I go, okay, there she is. And really, it's been that fucking long. So
The fat bitch with the mole on her forehead.
she wasn't fat. She didn't have a mole. She was a little cute thing, but
Giant forehead on that girl.
she might have had a big forehead.
Giant forehead, strong
Fucking
jaw, could
big
take a punch. That kind of girl. Kind of girl you really love.
Every woman that the two that I've married, they've both gone on to be quite successful. Maybe it's me.
You're holding them back.
At least the one thing I can say is I've never turned a woman lesbian, and I know some guys that have done that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, for sure. Looking at you, Tim Capel, you fucking short dick motherfucker. She just went straight lesbo on you, huh?
And that's you, man. I don't care what. Oh, no, I've been a lesbian my whole. No, you haven't. You had a bad fuck with a little dick. Mm-hmm. That's why you decided, I don't want dicks anymore.
I don't even think it has anything to do with the dick. I think it's probably just the man,
Yeah,
you're just looking at him and going,
man.
God damn, I don't want to deal with men anymore. Because you think they're all like that one.
It's so funny because
we mostly
women are cunts too, though.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what I was thinking the other day? The word cunt. All right. The word cunt and pussy, they're both the same thing, right? They're both pussies. They're both vaginas or whatever.
Correct.
But you don't refer to them as the same thing. If you call someone a cunt, you're not saying great things about... I guess you're not saying great things about either of them. But if you call someone a cunt, what do you mean?
Just a shit person, a fucking dickhead.
But if you call them a pussy...
means they're scared of everything.
Yes. It's crazy that one thing can represent two different things. You're either a fucking complete shit fuck or, you pussy. You know what I mean? You're a little wuss. You're scared of doing anything.
But how often do you call a man a cunt? He's always a pussy.
No, I go with cunt a lot.
Do you?
Because I'm talking about two different things. If I was to call a man, the male version of a cunt would be, and think about this, a dick, which is fucking hilarious again. It's the same thing. They're both named after genitalia. But that would be a dickhead. A guy, cunt, is just a dickhead,
just
a fuckface, whatever else you want to call him. An asshole.
An asshole.
It's hilarious. They're all named all after genitalia. Now, is there another version for a dick, which you would call someone a
cock?
That would be a nice thing? Yeah, but
prick.
Cock and
He's
dick.
A prick. That guy's a fucking prick.
But all those mean the same thing.
Yeah.
You're all talking about the same thing, which is also equal
to
a
nice thing?
Cunt.
There's not a nice thing to say about a penis, no.
Yeah, there's never like, oh man, that guy's balls. And you just mean that he's a nice fella.
And it's another thing. If a guy's a jerk, he's a hard-on.
There you go.
Fucking hard-on over there.
What is up with that? I don't get it. But the pussy one's the funny one to me because pussy goes completely opposite. But we're really talking about the same anatomy. All of a sudden now a pussy is just someone that don't want to do anything. And what's that have to do with a pussy?
I don't know.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess
I guess it probably goes along with the you throw like a girl or you hit like a girl thing. Pussy girl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, an autistic person can never come up with that fucking comparison.
No, they can really, dude. Have you seen Elon Musk? That guy's crazy good.
That's all math. Autistic people are math people. Okay, that wasn't math. I used general philosophy there.
Sometimes they're like geography people. Sometimes they're music people.
They're usually math.
My son. Video game person. Oh my God, I'll just tell you the most minute details about a 1987 Metro Man thing that came out 20 years before he was born.
Yeah, well, that's his thing.
It's like, what the fuck? But you're just a texture autistic person.
I'm autistic because fish feels funny in my mouth. Is that what it is? Maybe my olfactory.
All fish? You can't eat any fish?
I don't like fish.
None.
I've tried it all. But the one thing about fish is I've tried it all.
You can't have a tuna sandwich?
I could eat a tuna sandwich.
Okay.
But if it's slathered, it's got to be slathered in mayonnaise and
but you couldn't eat a tuna steak.
No. But the difference is I've tried all of that.
Really?
I went through a little period where I said, man,
some fish isn't good.
Fish is good for you. It's healthy. So I went, I worked at a bar that also had a restaurant attached to it. And the cook there would make me different cuts of fish all the time. Here, try this one. Try this one. Salmon and, cod and halibut and all that. And I tried every fucking one of them. And so, they didn't all make me go, or anything like that, but I just didn't like any of them.
I got you.
I think the closest one I came to that I could have eaten. It was a piece of ahi tuna, but the texture of it was like a steak. It was like you were eating a steak, and I got that one down. But it's like I won't eat like squid.
What you eat?
I won't eat calamari.
Oh, you're missing out there. Calamari, it's all fried and shit. You can't even tell what it is.
It's an octopus, man.
Well, it's delicious.
Well, see, I've heard all that, and that's what pisses me off about myself. There's a lot of things I think I could learn to like if I didn't have the fucking little sack of balls in me that wouldn't let me try them.
No, it's not your balls. It's your autism. But, and you'd eat some fish. You know, you'll have a Pennsylvania pussy burger.
I mean, I serve the best denim bass known to man.
Denim bass.
And
Denim bath.
Denim bass. And
Oh, denim bass.
trout, yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Trouser trout makes sense. The denim bass. You
The
gotta
denim
watch
bass
that.
is when you're wearing tight jeans and you got the outline of your dick on your jeans. That's a denim bass.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you said denim bath, and I was like, what, you pee in your jeans? What's going on here? Yeah, we have. Yeah, some of us aren't perfect like Daddy White. It doesn't remember his last shart.
See, I think it's only because of the way she cooks.
And, you know, also,
I think he sneaks out, though, on his way home from work sometimes. Goes to McDonald's or something.
we did get
fucker.
I don't know if we mentioned that last week, but we did get 2 shart updates. You know, we got the running shart count, and Nathan's on the board with his first shart of the year.
Nice.
And Harry Guy is also on the board with his first shart of the year.
Really?
I'm shartless in fucking 2022 so far.
I am too. Well, no, I'm not.
Oh, shit, you got your first shart on the board.
I told you, I don't think it was a shart. I went home to a small pea-sized pebble in my drawers, but I didn't feel it come out.
We're counting it because that's fucking gross. All right? It's going to count.
I mean, I went like this. I took my underwear and I went like this over the toilet and it fell in. It was hard as a rock.
Hey, I remember at the beginning, so you had a something. You're talking about a would you rather, or do you have an asshole of the week, or what do you got going on?
I have an asshole of the week. Yeah.
All right, we're going to try to get to these. This is our Death Pool 2022 show, guys. So we're going to get to that very shortly. I want to get the other stuff out of the way first, though, so we can blather on about who we think is going to die over the next 11 months. We've already missed a couple. We'll talk about those when we get to it, though. What the fuck am I doing?
I don't know.
How do you operate this goddamn machinery? Oh, yeah.
Producer needed.
Producer needed. Someone without a...
Dart obsession.
Or an obsession with green stuff.
My asshole of the week is very simple, and it's very personal. My asshole of the week is Matt Hudson.
Are you still upset that he won't open a Grindr account?
No, I'm upset at the fact. Here, I hate people like this. I love Matt, but I hate people that do shit like this. Mm-hmm. I really hope you guys win, but I'm taking the Titans. Let me tell you something, fuckface. You might have lived in every U.S. city in the world because you're a fucking nomad. Mm-hmm. But right now you live in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, we're Bengals fans, and we want the Bengals to win. We know the Bengals are going to win, and we want them to win. And then you come up with, well, you know, for me, it's all financial. I got to bet the Titans because I want the money. But I hope you win. Fuck you.
He hopes he loses money?
He hopes he loses money.
I don't believe him.
It's like when Big Craig throws in a 7 and says, I don't want to get paid on that. Fuck you, Matt. You live in Cincinnati, motherfucker. Put on a Bengals jersey, say Who Day a couple dozen times, and keep your fucking pie hole shut about the Titans. Fuck you. That's also my fuck you, by the way.
All right, good enough. Yeah, fuck you, Matt. Anyways, with Matt's a weird one to me. Well, not weird per se, but there's a couple different issues I got with Matt's fandom. I got issues with every single person who isn't a fan of their hometown team. Now, I don't know if Matt lived...
Here.
He lived there for a little while, I guess, somewhere close-ish. Did he live in fucking Green Bay?
He lived in Wisconsin.
He lived in Wisconsin?
St. Louis.
For how long?
Because he's a Cardinal fan. He lived in Memphis. He's a Grizzly fan. Pick a fucking city.
Yeah. Well, but all those teams... The Grizzlies, that's another one, because there's not a basketball team in St. Louis, so we couldn't go with that.
True.
So, the Grizzly thing, I'll give a little bit of a break. You keep on fucking freezing, and this goddamn thing pisses me off.
Did you hit record, by the way?
I definitely hit record.
We're
there.
The TV's not on. I can't tell if I'm freezing.
Oh, yeah, I should put the TV on for later, but I'll do that in a bit. Yeah, maybe I'll put it on right now so you can tell if you're freezing.
Well, like I said,
Now, what I was going to talk shit about Matt for about his Green Bay fandom is he has been consistently a Green Bay fan since I've known him. I've known him 9 years, whatever. But the caveat to that is Green Bay's never sucked in those 9 years. Green Bay's been consistently pretty damn good because they went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
They've had some not as better as other years, but they've never really had a shit fucking year.
Yeah, they've never been a garbage
So
team.
you don't really test his fandom. I give the ultimate on Keyshawn where all of a sudden New England sucked and he's a Tom Brady fan where he was you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I haven't tested his real fandom there
But the
yet.
one thing you can give Keyshawn, and I'll give him this the whole fucking time, because the whole time that Tom Brady was in Green Bay, the only jersey he wore was a Brady jersey. And he never called himself a Pats guy. He always called himself a Tom Brady guy.
Because the Pats sucked.
But what I'm saying is, if he's now rooting for Tampa, I could at least understand that.
I can't. I don't like people that don't. He should be a Bengals fan. He was born in Cincinnati.
I agree.
The only reason he wasn't is because he's younger, and these guys that are born around his age, the Bengals were awful. They never even got that 1988 moment,
Yeah.
Or if
90.
you go further back, the 1981
But he got
moment.
the 90 moment.
The 90 moment was one playoff game. That's not really a moment.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if he got that. When was he born? He wasn't born in the 90s. Or he was probably born in like 90 or 91. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's pretty young.
Yeah, so his whole growing up, the Bengals were awful. Like Akili Smith, you're not looking up to him.
No, but when he was born...
And think about it.
Jeff Blake.
By the time he's 10 or so, that's when Tom Brady comes on the scene and wins the next, however many Super Bowls, or at least was in every AFC championship game.
But I just hate fuckers.
But I don't like people that just like teams because they win. That annoys the shit out of me.
That's called a front runner, people. Front runner.
Yeah, you just call him a bitch,
I mean, we've been Bengals fans forever. I have since I moved here.
Okay, I was born a Bengals fan.
Well, when I was growing up, I had no pro team.
Yeah.
So I was an Oiler fan.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved here, there were still Oilers for 2 or 3 more years, but then they disbanded. And as soon as they disbanded and became the Tennessee Titans, I said, I will not be a Titans fan.
Yeah.
It's not the Oilers, so I'm a Bengal fan because I live here. I've been a Bengals fan ever since. And never, ever would I tell you, man, I really hope you win, but I'm betting against you. Fuck off.
And you know what bothers me even more is I'm betting for his team. God damn it. I bet on Green Bay today.
Well, yeah.
By the way, my playoff predictions that are going to be completely done by the time you guys hear them, so you'll know if I'm a fucking idiot or not. And I don't think all these games are going to hit, but my bets, I should say, is I have Green Bay with the points, but I got a -4 because I took them real early. And then I took straight up money line, Bengals, Rams, and Bills. I picked all 3 underdogs.
As did I.
And I think 2 of them will at least win. Now let's hope one of those are my Bengals. But I'm not sitting here going to be 100% confident in the Bengals this week. I can see it going either way. But in the end, I predict the Bengals to win. Let's go 24-20.
I say 27-21.
All right.
That's my prediction. And I'll tell you what. Everybody's saying, Larry Okunjobi, gigantic loss.
Yeah.
Huge loss.
Look at you nailing that name. I can't say shit for their names ever. I'm awful with that stuff.
But
Larry Okunjobi. Whatever.
People think, these idiots are saying, well, hey, they got Derrick Henry back. He hasn't played since Halloween, man.
Yeah, and he had major foot surgery. He had to get a plate put in his foot.
So, yeah, he's going to come in and carry the ball 23, 24 times. He's going to. But if we can keep him to 2 to 3 yards per carry, we've done our fucking job.
Yeah,
my worry is on A.J. Brown, but it's not a worry. I mean, they've been watching films for a long time.
See, I'm not worried about him. I tell you, Azwuzie or whatever the fuck his name is, another name I can't pronounce. Awuzie has been a shutdown fucking corner this year.
But you got Julio on the other side.
Julio is 93. All right, we're not worried about him.
He's still got skill.
No, he's not bad, but he's not going to beat you. You know what I mean? He's not going to do he's not the Julio that's going to go out there and get 195 yards and 3 touchdowns anymore.
Julio, Jesse Bates, and I love Jesse Bates. He can't cover Julio one-on-one.
Well, he doesn't have to. He's a safety.
What I'm saying is, Julio's the long thread here. A.J. Brown is going to get double-teamed on the other side. All day long, they're going to double-team him.
Julio will not get more than 60 yards. I'm not worried about him. A.J. Brown could get some yardage, but I don't think he's going to be enough to beat us. The run game does worry me a little bit. I mean, because it's not just Derrick Henry. The guy that took over for him did just as good of a job, basically. But they didn't feed him the ball as much.
And that's what I'm counting on.
Tannehill doesn't do many turnovers. That scares me.
Burrow hasn't had a pick since week 13.
No, Burrow's not my worry. The pass rush is my worry. The front four, if they can get if Tennessee's front four can get pressure on Burrow without help from the linebackers, and you're allowing the linebackers to drop back and do some more coverage, Cincinnati could be fucked. So that offensive line is going to be huge. It'll be, if we can get their run game going, it would be fucking huge. But I don't see that happening. I do think Burrow is going to have a good day. Tennessee's defensive backs aren't that great. So as long as we can hold the front four, where they got to send maybe a couple more people
the
in.
The front four is
the blitz. Yes, they're decent, but they're not killers. You know what I mean?
They're, against our offensive line, they will be.
They're not. Yes, but they're not the Rams or the people that have these outstanding front fours. They're good.
Niners, shit like that.
But yeah, against our offensive line, which isn't good, could be trouble. But Burrow is better than anyone in the league against the pass rush, so we'll see. I'm feeling good about it. If we were playing Buffalo or Kansas City, I'd probably be shaking in my boots a little bit more. But I think Tennessee was the perfect matchup. And I think the Bengals, for the first time in the history of the Bengals, are getting all the right breaks this year. Whether it be playing Oakland in the first round, where it should have been really the Colts, which would have been a much harder matchup for the Bengals. Shit like that. They're getting lucky.
Well,
and they've never got lucky in the history of the fucking club.
The one thing I'm counting on is Vrabel to say, okay,
I love Vrabel.
Derrick Henry's my guy. He's getting the ball today. Give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, major foot surgery here, and he's been off for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I hope he sprains his ankle the first play and we don't fucking see him anymore. But let's get to the main event today, because we better get it started before it's too late.
And we'll have Death Pool number 11 in a minute. The guy's filling it out right now and turning it in here.
Who?
Sean Winter.
Tell Sean to fuck off for being late, but we'll take it, I guess. I ain't going to know the ages. I ain't going to be able to add it to my numbers, but...
You can do that later.
Fuck it. Well, it's part of the presentation. So anyways.
Who's first on the list?
Celebrity Death Pool 2022. Welcome. I'll go me first.
All right. Now this one will be a little sticky, but I'm here to get your back.
Yes. I'm annoyed. But let's fucking start it. My name's Jason. All right. I picked Dick Vitale first. Old Dickie V, he's not looking good.
He's old.
He's just not looking good. He is a small guy. He's never really been fat. So he might last a little bit longer, but I'm not looking good. He is age 82. I got the ages this year just to let you guys know. Bill Cosby's second on my list. He's also not fucking looking good.
He looks terrible.
Probably not living his best life anymore because of, he went to jail and all of that, which doesn't really work out for you. I'm trying to get this where I can see your face in case you fucking blank out again before we get started. All right, anyways. Bill Cosby's 84. All right, my youngest is Britney Spears.
Pretty healthy girl.
Pretty healthy, but batshit fucking crazy.
Batshit crazy.
All right, so much so that her dad had to take care of her finances for years, and the whole family ripped her
off. Did her dad
off.
take care of it, or did he rip her
Well,
off?
that's part of the thing. Is she's got some mental issues. She's definitely a suicide watch kind of person. All right, I don't wish that on her, but if she did, 60 points. All right, and I wasn't the only one to take Britney Spears or Bill Cosby. Both of them also had another person take them down the line. We'll get to them when we get to them. I went with Ozzy. Everybody hates to see Ozzy dies. Everyone thinks Ozzy's going to die every single year.
That's why I didn't take him, because I thought he'd be on every list.
Yeah, he wasn't. I was the only person that took Ozzy. Ozzy's only 73.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Those are the hardest 73 years ever.
Oh, my God. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes fucking Motley Crue look like casual drug users.
Next, we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Don't see that happen. I saw him do an interview a month ago. He looks like a healthy dude.
He's not a healthy dude, though. He has some kind of sickness, and I forget what it is.
I never knew he was so fucking smart, that guy.
Of course he is. Come on. Not only is he in the mid-70s, and he's like 7 foot tall, you don't see many 80-year-old 7-foot dudes. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. Their body, from what I remember... reading about is their heart takes a little bit more to pump the oxygen through, so it doesn't typically last as long.
Oh, he's got cancer.
But yeah, he also has prostate cancer. So that's another reason he's on my list. He's older, he's tall, and he has prostate cancer.
Okay.
I'd hate to see old Kareem die, one of the greatest players of all time, but it could happen. We're going to skip my next one. I'm going to save that last. My next one, Prince Andrew. Now, a lot of people were going to pick out old Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever the fuck her name is.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Ghislaine. A lot of people are going to pick her. Everybody thinks she's going to get killed. I think she's going to make it. I think if she would have got killed, she already would have been killed. I think Prince...
She hasn't blown the whistle on anybody.
Actually, this week, she said her lawyers are now going to stop fighting covering up the 8 John Does or the 5 John Does that are listed in all the paperwork. And those John Does are probably your Prince Andrews, maybe your Billy Clints. You know what I mean? Your huge ones. So I think she would have already been killed. Prince Andrew now, I think the royal family might have to do a little fix in here. You know, they don't want to ruin the good name, so let's just get rid of him. I don't think Prince Andrew's making it through.
Believe me, they got the power.
That's what I mean. And I wasn't the only one to pick him. There was another person that picked him.
And especially with all that shit going on with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah and all that. They don't need any more hot shit coming their way. I think I agree with that. Prince Andrew might just show up missing.
My next one is a carryover from last year. Everyone's old favorite racist, David Allan Coe. I've seen him recently, a couple weeks ago, and he looks like shit. And the thing is he's looked like shit for a couple years now, but he looks like four stages of advanced shit from the last time I've seen him.
Do you really think he's a racist? Because of those songs? He said he wrote those in prison. He said, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Wrote him in prison in the 60s and the 70s.
I don't believe it. A white guy that age from that...
And his most racist song ever, turns out, wasn't ever him singing it. If you still Google it, it'll still come up, David Allan Coe, but it's not. It's a guy named Johnny Reb.
No, I know Johnny Reb too, but I know what you're saying. David Crosby's my next one. He's 80. He's old. Everybody thinks he's going to die.
He's got a kid to carry on. He had one with who's the girl he had one with? The woman. I
don't fucking care. Either way, he's...
Come to my window.
What is her fucking name? I like that song. It's not bad, but I don't remember. I do know what you're talking about, but I don't remember names at all. David Crosby, everybody's been saying he's going to die forever.
He's looked like shit for 40 years.
Looks like it's going to be that time this year. Because when I pick them, they die, all right? Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, I was not the only one to pick him. There's 3 of us. He is, I believe, terminally ill.
Hunting accident. Could be a hunting accident. Now, that would be justice.
Cheney will probably die this year, and that's... But then again, he is third world order kind of guy. You know, he might have a weight of... He already has like a fake heart or some shit. So they might keep that fucking robot zombie alive for a little bit longer. Who knows? There was, like I said, 2 other people picked him. Now I'm going to go back to my one of my picks in the middle here, who already passed away. I got him. Meatloaf. Now, I know everybody's going to say, oh, you're making the contest and the person that you're going to name is already dead. Yeah, fuck you. I made this maybe 2 weeks ago or so. I have it saved in my Google Docs. I have a fucking timestamp so you can see I hadn't opened it since the 16th. I told Chris about it last week. He even made fun of me for picking Meatloaf.
He never told me
you
anything
motherfucker.
About it. No, I will say he does have Meatloaf. He's had Meatloaf for a long time. And he's not the only one.
No.
Who's got him.
I'm not the only one.
It's legit. Believe me, I had to buy myself that bottle of Maker.
Yeah, that's another thing. The last thing
I don't want him to win.
The last thing you want is me to win.
Oh, no.
For multiple reasons. You'll have to spend all the money, and you'll have to listen to me fucking brag it out. I'm the greatest person ever.
Meatloaf is legit. He had him. I saw the list several weeks ago, and Meatloaf was definitely on it.
And I did get Meatloaf. Sorry to hear Meatloaf pass. My reasoning, though, is you can't be fat for your whole life and live to be super long. You know what I mean?
He left this world like a bat out of hell.
And I heard it was COVID.
See, I did.
I heard the rumor was COVID, and I think...
Oh, no. No, his family said it was something. Oh, no, Louis Anderson was something else. Yeah, Louis Anderson was cancer.
Yeah, I think his was COVID, and he was an anti-vaxxer. So go figure. You know, and not to talk shit, guys. Nah, I ain't getting into it. Not in the middle of the death pool. We might have you fucking assholes liking this. I don't want to ruin it.
All right, so that's Jason's list.
So that's my list. I think it's a great list. I won last year. Let me point that out. I am the fucking reigning champion. I have 1 holdover. I think I'm nailing it, guys. I'm already up. All right. Well, I'm tied for first. It'll get better. All right. Next, we're going to go on to our favorite friend here, the hairy guy. The hairy guy last year went with all porn stars that we didn't know. And none of them died, of course, because why would a bunch of 22-year-old chicks die? Now, I guess when you're going with all those porn stars, you were hoping for a good one. But he went normal this year, kind of. His number 1 is Demi Lovato. I don't know why.
Well, she's She just, in the last 6 months or year, went non-binary. She said she's had depression issues and shit for...
And she did overdose a couple
because
years
of
ago.
that. Because she's either trans or non-binary, and she's confused, and she... it's actually a decent pick.
And that's a lot of points. 71 points.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, that's a winner right there if you get that. I don't see it happening. Number 2, Simon Cowell. He looks like a healthy dude. I mean,
a healthy dude.
He has some like man tits, but I mean, nothing that's going to kill him. And he's 62, is not that old.
He's got enough money to cure anything that he gets his hands on.
I don't see that one. All right, Jerry Sandusky. Now, Sandusky in prison, old. He may get killed when you're in prison for that kind of shit.
I think he would have by now. I think he's somewhere safe with other old people and other peds.
I don't see it happening, but that is one man who I do wish death on, so I root for you on that pick there, hairy guy. Fuck Jerry Sandusky. Die. Anyhow, good old JR, Jim Ross of WWE fame, now with AEW. He's only 70. The dude looks much older than...
stroke that he had, wasn't it?
He's had quite a few strokes, I think.
I think he's about done.
And his reason to live died not recently, a little bit ago. His wife died. Yeah, it was a big thing for him. So he has no reason to live, may as well die, but I don't think he will. And I do like old JR, so I'm hoping he stays around. Fuck you, hairy guy. Terry Bradshaw, is there something wrong with him?
He gets fatter every day.
Okay.
The other day he did this thing. He was talking about the games last week. He took his coat off to do some kind of little skit thing. Mm-hmm. Man, he looks like Humpty Dumpty. He's huge.
Okay, I didn't notice.
Huge.
I don't ever watch
He's
that
like a heart attack
shit,
waiting
so.
to happen.
I was never been a big Terry Bradshaw fan, but whatever.
Well, no, because you'd have to be a Steeler fan if you were a Bradshaw fan.
And I have nothing to do with that because I was never alive when he played for the Steelers, so I know he played for the Steelers, but that's not really where I associate him from. Like, if I look at Bill Cowher, I associate him with the Steelers because he was their coach for years while I was watching them. I know Bradshaw was the quarterback, but not ever when I was alive. So I don't really. I just don't look at him that way. He's just a guy that's on TV and is kind of goofy, and whatever. All right, Jerry Lawler, good old JR's old partner from the WWE days back in the 90s. As you can see, Harry Guy is a big WWE fan, big wrestling nerd here.
Wrestling and darts, that's my life.
Jerry Lawler has had a heart attack. I'm sure he had years of steroid abuse, everything else. It wouldn't surprise me, but he doesn't look that bad right now.
That's the guy that wears the crown, the king.
Yeah, the king out of Memphis, man. That guy ran Midwest wrestling for fucking years.
Yeah, Matt loves him because he's from Memphis.
Oh, I gotta love those Memphis guys. He probably eats ribs,
yeah,
but not with the sauce on them.
Great town.
We do dry ribs.
Yeah.
Go eat rendezvous. All right. Anyhow, Dr. Fauci. No. Dude's going to live to 102.
At least.
All right. Those guys don't die. Ludacris. I don't know anything about him.
He's young and skinny.
Seems pretty healthy to me. Has some money. Probably, we might get the easy AIDS at some point or another, but that's curable these days.
He's married.
Is he? Oh, come on.
But that's not the point. He's not relevant anymore. He's not going to get fucking gunned down in some club by another fucking rap crew. He's not going to get any of that. He's a fucking business guy now.
Now, this person I don't know. I looked her up last night, and I already forgot. So, whatever. But Sarah Hyland, she's only 31. She's on a show, and she has some kind of disease. It's like an autoimmune disease, or maybe it's like a kidney problem or something. She has something wrong with her. She's on a show. She's really pretty, though. She doesn't look like someone's going to die anytime soon. Who fucking knows?
Lots of pretty people have died.
And this motherfucker.
Fuck him,
His last one, Phil Taylor. It's a darts player for all you people that aren't fucking nerds. No one knows who he is. He's 61. And you know what? I'd say I hope he dies just because.
The world's a better place with less competitive dart players.
But I don't want to give Harry Guy 39 points either. So, Phil, good luck to you. I hope you die next year. All right, Chris, on to you. Why don't you do your own list?
All right, my list, I love the dude. Number one, I put Michael J. Fox. He's had Parkinson's for years and years and years. And I personally, my ex-brother-in-law died of Parkinson's. And he thought, the doctors thought, okay, he can live with this for a while. But in the end, it's just a debilitating disease. It just takes you eventually. And he's 60 years old. So Michael J. Fox is my number one. Number two, big, fat, coke and heroin guy, Artie Lang. He should have been dead 20 years ago.
I just like looking at Artie Lang's nose nowadays. He has the weirdest fucking nose.
He's a fucking mess.
I don't know what's going on there.
The years of drugs and alcohol that guy has put through his system, I mean, he rivals Ozzy.
I mean, look at that thing nowadays.
Those are gin blossoms. That's an alcoholic nose.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Look at that thing.
Look at him.
That's a bell pepper nose. He looks awful. Yeah, but Artie Lang, that guy's like a cockroach. He just keeps on hanging on. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's going to be much longer. What is those little number 2s next to him?
Oh, okay, yeah.
How many people have it?
Yeah, how many people have them? Harry Guy didn't have any repeats, so I never had to say it. Going back to these, 2 people had Michael J. Fox and Artie Lang.
Okay, my number 3 is Jeff Ross, the Roastmaster General.
You've picked him 2 years in a row, and I haven't understood either one.
He's my carryover. He's a fat slob. Eventually, you know what? You're going to roast the wrong person, and someone's going to fucking know you. He goes for the throat with these roasts. He's gaining weight every day. I think his fucking heart is fucking holding on by a thread. Jeff Ross is my number 3. Lamar Odom, number 4. I don't think he's going to die because he lost big fat Khloe Kardashian.
I don't think she's fat anymore. But
not anymore, but it's all...
She's still big.
It's all cosmetic and whatever, but... This guy's like a fucking Wilt Chamberlain. He fucks everything.
He was trying to get her back, by the way. I guess she recently got cheated on by whatever douche she's dating.
Because he's irrelevant without her. Well, he's not a great basketball player. Never was.
He was good, but
he was good, but he wasn't.
He was a great college player. He was a great college player,
and he fucks everything that moves.
Yeah,
this guy's going to get
slinging
AIDS.
Dick out there, yep.
And you know he's not putting a Jimmy on.
But you got to watch out with this AIDS stuff, man. AIDS is curable. Don't be getting into your 1980s fucking reasoning.
Okay. It's curable if you go to the doctor and seek treatment. I don't think this fucker's in that
you
realm.
think he's just going to avoid the doctor?
I think he's just going to get AIDS and die and not tell anyone. Number 5, Roseanne. Maybe this one's just wishful thinking because I think she's basically a vile human being in general. But
she's lovely.
She's skinny now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go from fat to skinny, and that doesn't mean your heart's getting healthy.
No, like Oprah. She's bouncing all the time and shit.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're healthy because you're skinny. You're healthier.
Roseanne lives off, I think she lives off Xanax and pistachios.
Period. Xanax.
Yeah. Well, she owns pistachio farms in
so
Hawaii.
She's only going to get me 31 points.
31 points is a decent chunk.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of... I think we go down a little bit further. There's people that are picking all these 90-year-olds and shit. Anyways, go on.
Charlie Sheen. As we just talked about before, you don't die from AIDS if you're getting treated for it. But this motherfucker used to do 8 balls in like an hour.
Yeah, he was the man.
He did more cocaine than fucking Small Countries.
And that was part of the reason I picked Meatloaf earlier. Big cokehead.
But I mean, that shit does leave fucking shit in your body for years and years. It weakens stuff. You know what I mean?
Weakens your heart, probably. Yeah.
And my God, that guy went hard for about 20 years.
Yeah, he had a good time.
Fucking porn stars and doing fucking 8 balls of coke like in an hour, he said. It was nothing. This guy's a time bomb. Selena Gomez. Young. That's a fucking 71 pointer.
71 points. She's got lupus or some shit.
She's got lupus.
Lupus don't kill people.
No, but you know what
Not
does?
that young, anyways.
And God, I hate to say it because, I don't wish this upon people, but you know what does?
Mm-hmm.
Small chartered Learjets to get to your next show. Those crash.
You think she's...
I think she's going to be like a Richie Valens.
She's the next Aaliyah.
She could be.
Oh, poor girl.
Kesha. Kesha's a turd, in my opinion.
Yeah, you hate when girls turn people in for rape.
That's not why. I never considered her talented. I just didn't. Her songs were bubblegummy garbage crap, and now no one even remembers her. I think that kind of depression and weird shit is going to make you turn to the hooch and to the drugs, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Corey Feldman's still alive.
But Corey Haim isn't.
Yep.
Jimmy Walker. Dynamite!
How dare you?
Oh, my God. The dude's old. How old is he? He's 74.
That's not that old.
Okay, the guy's never weighed over 130 pounds in his fucking life.
That's good for the heart.
It's good for the heart, but he's tall and skinny like fucking Kareem.
He's not Kareem size.
Well, he's not 7 foot. This guy, there's no way that he's healthy. There's just no fucking way.
No, I don't see it happening either.
Chevy Chase. He's aged 20 years in the last 2. He looks like a fucking little old man now. He's aged in the last 2 years like Artie Lang did in the last 5.
I haven't seen Chevy Chase in a while, and I actually meant to look him up when I seen that he was on your list.
He looks like a tall Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. You know what? Selena Gomez was mentioned twice. People really think lupus is a big deal. Roseanne, and it is not, I'm not trying to undermine lupus. I fucking honestly don't know anything about lupus. What I've done is I know one person with lupus, and I've judged all my opinions based on her, and she seems fine.
She doesn't have lupus. She told me she had something else, but it was similar to lupus, and they were treating it like it was lupus because they're similar.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm going with that still. Lamar Odom and Roseanne were both mentioned twice also. And poor Chevy Chase. I'm a big Funny Farm fan. I hope he lives. And I heard he's a giant dickhead. Which I get a kick out of that. All right, our next entry is new father. New father. Shingo, congratulations.
And welcome to little baby Kenji. And you know what pisses me off about it?
What?
I mean, I'm really happy for those guys. Good parents. They're going to be great parents.
They didn't name him
Chris. Two good friends. They haven't posted one picture of him.
I know.
Has he got a big head? I mean, I know he's got a big head. You've told us all, but not one picture on Facebook.
I'm not speculating on that because I feel like I'll put my finger or my fucking foot in my mouth saying some stupid shit about someone's kid that they love, and I'm not.
Oh no!
I'm not that person. So
he said everything is great. 10 fingers, 10 toes, everything healthy. Let's see some pictures, man.
Well, maybe they're like the celebrity parents. You know what I mean? That don't want their kids up and in the paper and shit. Who knows? I don't give a fuck. I don't need to see a kid. They all look the same to me. Actually, I seen you comment on someone's picture the other day. It said beautiful kid, and I looked at the kid and went, yeah, not really. Not a great looking kid. But that's the thing is everybody says the same shit. So I don't need to see your pictures. Babies all look the same. Show me to him when he's 3. Anyhow, Shingo. Demi Lovato. Also picked Demi Lovato. We've already gone over her. We won't go over her again. Lil Wayne. I don't know shit about Lil Wayne.
You know, I don't know anything about his health, but you know what?
He looks kind of goofy.
I wasn't a big Lil Wayne.
I think he enjoys some drugs.
Music fan. But he's grown on me a lot in the last 3 or 4 years. I think he's a pretty funny dude, pretty cool dude. I think I'd like to hang out with him and party one night.
Oh, I'm sure he's a good time.
I think he's a good time. Yeah, he seems like a pretty funny dude.
Dude drinks syrup or scissor, whatever the fuck it is. Shit I can't say. That's probably not cool anymore. But
if you look at him, you know, he takes his shirt off. He's still kind of ripped a little bit. He looks pretty healthy to me.
All right, next we got old Dr. Shaky, Michael J. Fox. We've gone over him, and yeah, you're right.
Wow, Shingo's got... Never mind.
Yeah, don't go down. Next one is Selena Gomez. We've already had one of those. With you, I'm thinking that's what you're pointing out.
We've had 2 together.
Yeah, I think you have had a lot of repeats, though. I mean, if you look at your list, you got 5 people that other people have. So you're going to need your Charlie Sheens and your Jimmy Walkers to hit for you to win. That's how you got to look at this in the competition. All right. Now we're at Selena Gomez. You already said. Morgan Freeman, our first entry into the death pool for Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's 84. I know Morgan Freeman seems like he's been 84 since I was 0. So for 40 years, Morgan Freeman has pretty much seemed like he was 84, but it turns out he is now 84. I don't see it. I mean, unless there's some shit I don't know about Morgan Freeman right now.
And it would really, I would really hate to see Morgan Freeman die. Cool dude.
I want that motherfucker narrating documentaries when he's 96. Too. You know, that James Earl Jones lifestyle where you just get that sweet voice, talk away, buddy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We'll listen.
I don't want Red to go anywhere with Andy Dufresne. I want him to stay right here with us.
All right, this one's a pretty good entry, but he seems to be outlasting his worth already. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer has looked like he's going to die now for the last 10 years. He has throat cancer. He no longer has...
He's got this big fat face.
His face is gigantic somehow.
And he used to be like according to women, like the hottest guy.
Oh, yeah,
he was Iceman and fucking Top Gun.
Now, Top Gun time, he was the most sought after dick in the country. And
when he did Tombstone, and he was Doc Holliday, man. He was the shit.
And that was... Fucking face looks like a Tombstone pizza. It's like big and fucking round, and he uses one of those vocators now.
Oh, does he use one?
Oh yeah, he had cancer like 6 years ago. Now he is cancer free, so maybe he lives out a couple more years, but he's not looking good. Let's just say Val Kilmer hasn't looked good for a while. Shingo's also got Lamar Odom. We've already been over this.
Wow.
Tim Curry.
We have 3 together.
Now, Tim Curry.
I like Tim Curry.
Are we going to have the curse of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, though? Meatloaf went down this year. Is it Tim Curry, too? Is it going to be a disappointing year for these fans? Could be.
I think Dr. Frankenfurter's going to be around a while.
I don't know shit about Tim Curry as far as his modern-day health, so I don't know if he has something going on already. But I agree with you. I think Tim Curry is going to make it this year.
I like Tim Curry.
Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, to me, is the Rush Limbaugh of this year. He does kick it, I believe. He has him on the list, as well as a couple other people. And then he's got Jet Li. Is there something wrong with Jet Li?
No, but he might be thinking along the Bruce Lee lines. Too many kicks to the head.
Yeah, but Bruce Lee went out.
Of the brain.
He went out early.
Yeah, but
wait a minute. Swelling to the brain. Didn't Bruce Lee get murdered by the Chinese mafia or something?
Yeah, but he suffered for years from swelling of the brain from being hit in the brain. It's almost like that PTSD or
CTE.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they all got that.
Jet Li, healthy as a horse.
Jet Li's making it. Hey, Shingo, congratulations on being a father. Your list sucks. You're not going to win. All right.
Except for 3 of those. I like 3 of your picks.
Well, that's the problem. When you got repeats, I don't really believe as a winner. You need those extras to hit. All right, Alex Carmesino. And Alex last year had probably the oldest list, and he put some younger ones on it this year. Younger by death pool standards anyways. All right, Pope Benedict was his number 1. That's a carryover for him. I don't know shit about Pope Benedict. He's old as fuck.
94
He's 94,
years
so congratulations if you get the 6. Yeah, I think Benedict did a lot of hiding the touchers around the country. Hey, you molested some guy in Boston. All right, let's move him to Connecticut. So fuck Pope Benedict.
Most popes have done that.
Yeah, I hope he does die. Woody Allen.
He's another. You got a lot of pedophiles.
Now,
on your list
Alex
here.
told me, and I was going to get into that. Alex has a pedophile list. Like for the most part, I think he drops off a little bit lower, but I think definitely the first 4. I'm not sure about his number 5 have been accused.
All
right, so Woody Allen,
he married his
stepdaughter,
stepdaughter,
but
still,
yeah,
gross,
fuck. Gross. Yeah.
And she was 40 years younger than him, or
and
something.
I think he did some other creepy shit. Woody Allen's a creep.
He's a creep.
The guy might be funny in your weird New York style way, but I think Woody Allen's a creep, and he's 86. Good luck, Alex. Gary Glitter. Now I don't know who the fuck that is, but last week you told me he looked at porn and shit, child porn.
Child porn. Yeah. He had one real hit in his name. Hey,
that's not even a song. Fuck you, Gary Glitter.
Rock and Roll Part 2 is what they call it.
That ain't no song.
But they found like 30 years.
Some shit they play at the fucking
30 years of
basketball
child porn
game
on his fucking computer. The guy's a sick, twisted pedophile.
Why do they still play that song?
I don't know.
That's not that great of a song where you need to make it last. Like we were talking about last week with The Who. Pete Townsend probably a toucher. But we're going to keep those Who songs around. They had some great ones.
Yeah.
Now we can get rid of fuck Gary Glitter. Let's pick another jock jam out, guys. Get rid of him. 77, though. That's not a bad number.
No.
23 points is a good score.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell, we've already talked about her. There's 4 people that picked her. She's 60. I think she's making it. Sorry. I wouldn't be mad if she got murdered.
And fuck you for your number 5. I love Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid went off the fucking map, though, didn't he? Isn't Randy Quaid crazy now? I think he filmed like a porno. I was talking about conspiracies.
I knew he's a conspiracy
guy.
No,
he is.
But he was funny in his movies, though. He was funny in the movies.
Well, yeah, he was good in what he did. That's fine.
Fucking hilarious. Yeah. I mean, he was always the, unnecessary Quaid brother, but
yeah, fucking Billie Jean's the shit, but Mikey touched kids. We can still appreciate the art. All right, Dick Cheney, we've already talked about that one quite a few times. He's dead. Number 7 for Alex was Meatloaf. He was the person that tied me on this one. Great pick, Alex. We're along the same way. We gave each other fist bumps over Meatloaf's death yesterday, even though both of us like Meatloaf as a performer. You got to do what you got to do to win these.
I loved me some Meatloaf.
Loved him. Don King. Well, Meatloaf was one of those dudes, though. I say I love you. Ask me, I love me some Meatloaf. Sure, I'm listening to Meatloaf maybe 3 times, 4 times a year, and it's only like 4 or 5 songs. Do I really love me some Meatloaf? I'm not getting to the I'm not getting into the deep cuts of Meatloaf or anything like that. So I don't know how much I love Meatloaf.
It's like you said, he was a fucking chubby fucking kid who fucking got shit on his whole life, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm going for it anyway." And he was entertaining. He
was a football player, and he was actually a pretty decent football player in high school.
And he was big. He was big titted Bob in Fight Club.
Mm-hmm. What's his name in Fight Club? They all chanted
Bob.
at the... No, I know, but they all chanted that. It's Robert Paulson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right. Number 8 on his list is Don King. Don King is 90 years old. I remember him being a pretty big fella, so it kind of surprised me when I found that he was 90 and still alive. Don King probably has all the money in the world, though, so that helps. I haven't really heard much from him in a long time. Maybe Don King passes this year. I don't know. Suge Knight, 56. I don't see Big Suge dying at 56.
There's somebody that deserves to die at 56.
Debatable. He did what he needed to do. But, we're talking about a true businessman. A true businessman that ran the...
Who killed people. That if he couldn't, you wouldn't sell him your fucking song for pennies. He killed people.
Who am I? Who am I to judge Suge as I read a
He hung Vanilla Ice out a fucking hotel window by the ankles.
We're sitting here doing a death pool, awarding points for death.
We're not doing it, though. We're not killing any of them.
Debatable. I think.
Hey, listen, I'm going to give you $100 for your song, or I'm going to kill you.
All I'm saying is Demi Lovato disappears. I'm questioning Harry guy. All right, he's the kind of guy that might pull some shit.
Oh yeah, he's got a trunk full of duct tape. I guarantee you, there's something creepy about it.
All right, and his last is Andy Andrist. Andy Andrist probably is not known to 90% of our listeners. He is a comedian. He wrote for the Man Show. He's a decent stand-up comedian on his own, and he has recently been diagnosed with some sort of cancer. So, yeah, that might be a good insider pick. I will consider him famous, even though a lot of you don't know who he is. I did know the name before I looked him up, which is more than I can say about some of these old fucks. All right. This next person is not someone we know personally, I don't think.
Hey, we have to move this along if you need your haircut.
Yeah, I got to get my haircut. Now, we don't got that many of them left, honestly.
I got one on my phone, too.
All right. And then we wrap it up as soon as this is done.
CK.
CK. We'll just say that CK not wanting to let us know the name. Randy Travis. I did not know Randy Travis is only 62. I thought Randy Travis was 162.
No,
I haven't heard his name forever. He was my grandma's favorite country singer. But who knows? Randy Travis. She has Maxwell like everyone else has. Steve Wozniak. I believe that's the guy that formed Apple with the other dude.
With Steve Jobs.
Yeah. Their buddies nerded out, did a bunch of acid back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know his health situation. Prince Andrew, we've discussed this. Prince Andrew is probably on someone's death list. Travis Scott, she's the second person that mentioned him.
Hey, well, it could be suicide. He could eventually feel guilty for all these fucking people that died.
I think if you feel guilty, you're going to feel guilty right away. And right away, he's like, wasn't me.
Right. No, right away. And he's not like, he's not a fucking Jay-Z with billions of dollars.
Yeah.
He's paying for all their fucking funerals. I mean, he paid for all their funerals. I don't know, man. If his career totally fucking tanks because of this, people say, my kid ain't going to see your fucking show. Mm-hmm. Who knows, man? He could get depressed and fucking off himself. That could happen.
All right, next on the list is Jerry Lee Lewis, old Great Balls of Fire. Who knew he was even still alive?
He should have been on Alex's pedophile list.
Yeah, you're a good point. He did marry like his 14-year-old cousin or something. I mean, like it goes
13, I think.
Yeah, 13, but it goes two different ways. Not only pedophile, but incest.
Yeah.
Weird shit. Anyways, Jerry Lee Lewis kind of disappeared. I remember seeing him like in a Hall of Fame thing years ago. Like I swear, like 20 years ago, he kicked out the fucking thing. They lit the piano on fire, and he looked old as shit then.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised he's only 86. But at the same time, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Britney Spears, she has. Yes, that's a head case. Could happen anytime. Richard Simmons. Our boy Richard Simmons, that guy's going to live forever, all right? He's as healthy as a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Still out there doing the exercises. You're wrong on this one, CK. Bill Cosby, hope he dies. Fucking rapist. That's not nice to say, but I don't give a shit. Fuck the Huxtables. And Kanye West, another head case.
Killed in a bar fight against Pete Davidson. Man, they're really going back and forth at each other. Yeah. Fuck you, give her back, fuck off.
And I couldn't give less of a shit about that. You know?
I think as far as human beings go, I don't think there's a shittier one on the planet than Kanye West. I think he's the fucking definition of narcissist. Asshole.
I disagree a little bit. I mean, I think he's a douche, but I'm sure he does a couple of good things for people where some people do nothing for anyone.
I think he does a couple good things for his people.
Probably. Fair enough. I don't care. Kanye West wouldn't surprise me because he is such a fucking lunatic. Let's get to the next list. Get Pussy. Get Pussy has Maxwell. Everybody has Maxwell. Congratulations, right. Get Pussy. Nothing original. Anthony Hopkins. 84 years old. I haven't seen him in a bit. Wouldn't shock me.
He was in a movie not long ago. He looks old, but he's skinny.
He's 84.
Appears healthy.
Lamar,
and he was Hannibal Lecter, man. I want Hannibal to die.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, me too.
Not for him to die. I want Anthony to live for a while. That's a hell of an actor. Lamar Odom we've talked about quite a few times now. We'll see. Dick Van Dyke. All right. For one thing, Get Pussy is an old-ass list. Dick Van Dyke gets you 4 points.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
But if you get 2 or 3 of those to go, you could be in the running. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, because Meatloaf already passed away. You got a lot of catching up to do. Get Pussy could literally have like 6 of his people die and still not win right now. Next would be Rosalind Carter, which is the President Carter's wife. She's 94. Okay. Well, I'm sure she's about to die. She's 94. Next, Queen Elizabeth II, also 95. Yeah, she could die at any second. She's 90-fucking-5. The next one, Carol Channing, died 3 years ago.
Already.
She died 3 years ago. All right. And I really wanted to rip on him about this, but he wasn't the only person to pick the dead person out on the list. All right. This didn't happen last year. You fucking morons. You can't use Google. 3 years ago, too. I don't even know who the fuck that is either.
She was an old comedian actress. So the idea like a Betty White, she was a comedian.
But the idea that he picked that name out, like kind of a name out of the back of a hat, and they were already dead, that blows my mind. He also picked Travis Scott, which, fair enough. If he gets Travis Scott, that makes up for all of his old people. Bill Russell, 87 years old, tall man. Obviously, we've talked about that. And Mel Brooks is 95, but those old Jewish fellas live forever.
But
who knows?
That is forever.
Yeah, 95 is a long fucking time. Next, we're going to get to old Brian Sebastian. Sebastian's starting it off with Artie Lang. You already had. But that is a big hit if it happened. I don't want Artie to die ever, though. I want to somehow see Artie live to be 90. Not going to happen, but I'd love to see it.
That's like saying you're going to live to 90. Oh, wait a second. Sorry.
No, I agree with you. Number 2 is Jeff the Drunk. Jeff the Drunk has looked like he should die at any second. He's a Howard Stern person. He's only 54, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, Jeff the Drunk could die any moment. Then he has Maxwell like everyone else. Number 4, he has Pele. He's the second person that has Pele. The other person comes later. I didn't know Pele was sick or something, but apparently Pele's all fucked up.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so maybe Pele dies this year.
You'd be thinking, one of the best soccer players that ever played the game. Probably pretty healthy, you know what I mean?
No, Daddy White told me he's all fucked up. I don't remember what exactly he said it was, but Pele is not looking good. Mikhail Gorbachev, that's a weird pick. 90 years old, I guess could die. I don't know. Best birthmark in the world.
Ever. Ever.
Yeah. Knew a family when I was younger who the daughter had that same, like, similar
strawberry
birthmark,
face,
just like boom.
Yeah.
And she never got it taken off. Or she did get it taken off. I mean, years later, nowadays you see her and you couldn't even tell it was there. I don't think that was possible. Well, Mikhail probably could have done it. That was his trademark, though. It was like Anthony Davis's fucking unibrow, He can remove that if he wanted to. He chooses not to.
He doesn't want to. He says it makes him money.
All right, Linda Ronstadt, 75. There's 2 people that had on her. Apparently she's sick also.
I heard she was sick, but she's
Linda
been
Ronstadt,
sick in the past.
I guess just was a cover artist. I looked up our songs last night, and every single song, every single big song especially, it was like, this was a Roy Orbison song that she performed. This was a so-and-so song she performed.
She's been performed since the 70s. The Eagles were her backup band.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I didn't know that she was basically a cover artist, though. She just did, like, old soul songs and did her version, which were good, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't know that about her. I didn't know shit about her. All right, next, Selma.
She's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm not talking shit about Ron or whatever.
Well, I mean, it's weird that if she was a cover artist and she made it to the Hall of Fame,
that is
a little bit weird.
All right, next one, Selma Blair.
That's my secret boner of the month. I've always thought she was so fucking hot. If she dies,
she is hot.
I will be very.
I believe she
upset.
also has some kind of it might even be lupus. She has some kind of autoimmune system.
She's smoking. If she dolls herself up, man, she is hot.
No, she don't even have to doll herself up. She's hot no matter what.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's 68, I guess. I mean, Hulk Hogan's one of those dudes that's lived such a hard life, with steroids and being on the road and painkillers and
concrete for years.
And being also 6'5", 300 pounds of muscle. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's heart could give up at any time. I wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not rooting against the Hulkster, all right? Just I can't do it. I wasn't born that way. All right, Christopher Lloyd, 83 years old. I read...
Doc Brown?
And do both him and Michael J. Fox have Parkinson's?
No, he's got something else.
Okay. I could have swore I seen an article last night, but I didn't want to deep dive into it to find out what it was. And then here's Brian Sebastian being a fucking dill shit, just like Get Pussy, picking out someone who's already dead. Walter Mondale died last April. So... here's what I've decided about these 2 dipshits. At first, I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to take a point off for every year they've been dead. So, like, Get Pussy is already at -3, and Sebastian's at -1. I was like, I guess I won't do that because I've never announced it. But in case there is a tie at the end of the year, and one of those 2 are involved in the tie, they fucking lose. All right? The tiebreaker is you're an idiot.
Well, but the thing is, I had to stop you 2 weeks ago when you showed me your list. Tupac was on it. And I said... I said, you might want to change that one.
That was last year's list, but either way. And I don't believe it. All right, we got 3 more, so let's power through these. Nathan's back, and Nathan did the lazy move, and this is such typical Nathan.
He did his old list.
He just completely rolled over his list from last year. He had no one die last year, so we're gonna run through this quick since he didn't even put any fucking effort into it. All right, he may have put effort into it last year though, so let's give a little respect. At least he gave us a list.
All right.
Nathan got Vince McMahon, who's 76 years old. I think McMahon's gonna live for a while though. But then there's another guy that's had a steady diet of steroids his whole life, so who fucking knows? Lindsay Lohan, she's always a wild card.
Always.
Only 35 years old. She's like a younger version of Britney Spears. You never know with her. Willie Nelson's old as shit. He's 88. He's recently stopped smoking pot. He only does edibles now, worried about his health. So I do think he's going to live a little bit longer. Never had any weight on that guy. He was always a little thin guy. And I think never was really hard on any drugs besides pot. So
no, I think pot's been his only thing.
Yeah, so I think he's good for a little while longer. Roseanne, we've talked about her, could go anytime. Lou Holtz looks like he's 110, but he's looked like that for 20 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
He looked like an old man when Frank was playing for him back in the fucking 80s.
He's still on TV chirping, sounding fucking weird, not making any sense. I think Lou Holtz lives a little bit longer, but who knows? We got Donald Trump on this list. Trump's living. I don't know what he's got going on. Dude lives off fucking McDonald's, but he's got some.
He ain't dying.
He got some New World Order shit going on behind the scenes. They're keeping him alive regardless.
Can you imagine if Trump, let's say hypothetically, someone went into his bedroom and he was dead? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're going to have all these fucking crazy Republicans saying the fucking Dems murdered him so he wouldn't run in 2024.
It's Hillary Clinton. It's going to be Hillary Clinton the rest of the life.
Or Biden. It could be the one.
Yeah, we'll go with Clinton probably. But either way, yeah, that's going to be conspiracy fucking world. That'd be awful. I would hate for that. As much as I don't like Donald Trump, I would hate for that to happen because you're right. The chaos that would ensue
Civil War
would not work. Next would be Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is going to beat death. We all know that.
Yeah.
Pete Rose, I don't think he's going to die this year. He's not looking great or anything, but I think he's got a little while longer left in him.
Yeah, I do too.
Josh Hamilton, we all know his problems in the past. Baseball player, complete fuck up, one of the most talented dudes ever. Just never really could get his shit together. I don't know what he's up to these days. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully he found God and he's all right. And fucking Nate don't get any points. And then Chris Brown. I remember Nate saying there's nothing wrong with Chris Brown. He just fucking hates him, which I respect. He is a woman beater.
He's a woman beater. You know, that can bite you in the ass.
Yeah, fuck him. But he is only 32 years old. If he does pass away, Nate's making a lot of fucking points. And it's not going to happen probably, but I don't hate the pick. All right, and our last one, second, we got 2 more. We got Daddy White here. Daddy White's got Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney we've already talked about. All right. Next is Ted Kaczynski. I think Ted Kaczynski's been in like solitary for like 20 years. I think that was his reason.
He's in the federal prison in Colorado. He's in that Supermax thing where you don't see anybody ever.
Yeah. So I don't know much about where his health is at the time.
But you know what? He lived in a fucking cabin in fucking.
It's kind of his thing. He's probably in heaven. He's like, give me a book. We're good.
He wants to be left alone.
He was a fucking lunatic. Jerry Lee Lewis. Whatever. Linda Ronstadt. We've already talked about that. Morgan Freeman, we've already talked about him. Jenna Jameson is our next one. Now, Jenna Jameson is sick of some sort. She's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
But I did read that it's more of a physical thing, that it's not something really that would kill you. Now, my thought on this, and I talked to Daddy White about this, and he kind of agreed with me, is not that the disease is going to get her, but the depression from having the disease, and she used to be this famous hot bitch, and now she's going to kind of deteriorate.
Nothing, yeah.
You know, it'll probably deteriorate worse. Does that get her with the old get a pill addiction or some shit like that?
It could.
I don't wish that on Jenna Jameson. I got nothing bad to say about her. She had a fine butthole and pussy for years that we all like to look at.
I must have masturbated to her.
Yeah.
Baker's dozen.
So good for Jenna. I hope she lives. Pele. Again, there's something wrong with him. Could be whatever. I don't have any opinion about Pele. I don't even know that. Pele could walk in front of me. I wouldn't fucking know.
You'd think it was a really old Rob Campbell.
That's hilarious. All right. Vin Scully. Vin Scully is old as shit.
Yeah, but he was the man.
He was the man. I think he has something wrong with him right now. Mostly being 94 years old is what's wrong with him. But either way, that he might get 6 points there. Robert Blake.
Love Robert Blake.
Love him. Did he murder someone?
Murdered his wife, supposedly. But
supposedly.
When I was a kid, one of the most popular shows
I need more proof.
One of the most popular TV shows on for years, my whole childhood, was Beretta. He was this fucking tough street cop who didn't do things the right way, and he had a fucking bird that fucking hung out with him, a fucking cockatoo that sat
That's
on his
kind of
shoulder.
cool.
And
I'm
talked.
watching the new John Cena show called Peacemaker right now,
Yeah.
and he has a pet eagle, and it's just fucking hilarious.
It was pretty cool. Beretta was the guy that he didn't do things the way the department wanted him to, but he always got the fucking guy. I
Like
grew up watching.
Serpico. There's a million of
Yeah.
those. All right. Well, either way, he murdered someone and he's in jail.
Yeah, it's supposedly
And number
murdered.
10, and I didn't know who the fuck this was, and he acted like I should know.
Imelda Marcos.
Imelda Marcos. She was
the Filipino president's wife.
Yeah, she was like the first lady of the Philippines, basically.
Yeah.
And then that family, I guess, ripped the Philippines off for like $10 billion.
I think his name was Ferdinand Marcos.
Yeah. They ripped the Filipino government off for people like for a ridiculous amount.
Crippled the economy for a year.
And they were, and that country wasn't a good place to begin
no,
with,
they
and
took
they
all their
fucked it
money
over
and bailed.
more.
Yeah.
And then they left, and then I think she came back later though and was still nominated to be a senator or whatever the fuck they call him.
Well,
over in the
because
Philippines.
I think she came back and pinned it all on her husband.
She may have. Either way, she did come back.
I think his name was Ferdinand Marcos.
She's 92, and Danny White did say he's attending her funeral. She dies, so I hope he has a good time over there in the Philippines. He says she's basically like a relative to him now. He's
Really?
very married into the whole Filipino community.
Well, maybe she's one of those people that maybe she went back, pinned it all on her hubby, and said, "I was the victim here, guys."
Yeah, he tricked
Now,
me.
if she truly would have been the victim,
I'm
she'd
just
say,
a dumb woman.
"Here's the money back," but she didn't do that. Okay, we've got a list here from
Our last one, you get to it.
and I will say before I do this, it's tax season, and our man Sean Winter over
Get
at 1
your
Minute
taxes done.
We'll do your taxes for you. He'll get you a giant refund, and we've got all his information.
His picture is up right now. Dun, 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 dun,
1
dun,
minute
dun,
taxes.
dun.
And we've got a lot of people going to him now. Yeah, it might take a while to get your tax return back, according to some people, but he does them all real quick as he can, and I promise your refund will be bigger.
Yeah, Sean, get that done a little bit quicker
He's the
for me
man.
this year, you son of a bitch. But either
here's-
way, great money.
Yeah, good money and good price. Just tell him that you never trust a fart when you call him, and he'll give you a good deal. All right, here's his list. Number 1, Fabio.
Fabio. Now, I don't have the ages because we just got the list 5 minutes ago.
Fabio's probably, I would say, late 60s.
Great shape there, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's fucking Fabio.
flowing, beautiful
But,
hair.
but maybe not. Maybe he's losing his hair, so he might be a suicide watch guy.
I think if you pulled up a picture of him right now, you're going to see a fucking long, flowing gray locks is what I think you're going to see.
I tend to agree with you.
Number 2, Richard Simmons. We've been over that one. Ghislaine Maxwell. A lot of people have her.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's the number one pick.
Number 4. Now, this one, he's got 2 people with the same last name. How about Gene Simmons? Obviously, bass player from Kiss, the tongue guy.
Yeah, he definitely has sleep apnea. You can't have that tongue and not have sleep apnea, so that's
No,
an
you
issue.
can't. I don't know. He's got bad hair, but other than that, he looks fairly healthy. You still see him on some shows. He still seems a little bit relevant.
Well, I don't know if relevant's the word, but either
Married-
way, I
married
think
that hot ass Shannon Tweed.
yeah, the king of the Skinamax flicks.
Yeah, loved her. I
right.
masturbated to her many times.
Of course.
Number 5, Joe Biden, President of the United States.
I think my buddy Sean leans a little right, and I think this might be wishful thinking. But, who knows? That guy's not looking good.
No.
Anyways, go on.
And he's not talking well.
He doesn't look dead, though. He just looks like he's going to be talking to a chair.
A lot of
all that Clint
politicians,
Eastwood
when
shit.
you ask him the question, they skirt around it, and he forgets the question.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
I mean,
Well, he's not even an idiot.
What
He
did you
just,
say?
I think
He's
he's got
old.
dementia, yeah.
Next one, the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. We've just covered him, so we won't go any further into that. Next one, this one's going to get him a lot of points if this happens. Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X, someone out there killing my boy.
I don't know. He's got to be in his 20s. I mean, he's got to be, doesn't he?
He's a young man, yeah, I'm
He's
sure.
a young man, but I think maybe because he leans to the right, he's thinking that some Republican's going to kill that fag. You know what I mean? Who knows?
I could have put that on Sean. He's not a bad person.
But maybe he thinks that could happen. Maybe he doesn't trust the world.
I don't know. I don't know. A Little Nas X, I think, is a swing and a miss, but we'll see.
Hillary Clinton.
Now, of course. She dying.
Bill could, but I don't think Hillary
Bill could die
is.
anytime. Hillary's going to live to be 90, something to be a pain in everyone's ass, rambling on.
The next one's going to hurt some people's feelings, but I kind of agree with him.
Fuck. Yeah, go ahead. There's another person, too.
Chris Burke. which was Corky from Life Goes On, the kid with Downs. Now, Life Goes On was a long time ago.
Shouldn't hurt anybody's feeling. Really? He's still alive?
He's still alive.
Good for him.
I don't know what the life expectancy is of somebody with Downs, but I know it's lower.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of exceptions to it. I mean, some people with Downs do live a nice long life, but I know it has a lower life expectancy, and
Typically.
he's got to be in his 50s, I would think. Look him up real quick.
We don't got time. Let's go. I'll look him up, but you go to the next one.
Warren Buffett. Way too much money to die. He's got to be in his 90s.
He's pretty fucking old, so it wouldn't shock me.
He sure has a lot of money. He's my age. He's 56 years old.
Corky, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Warren Buffett, he's got so much money, man. I think if he gets sick, he'll end up like in a ventilator and on machines for a couple years before he kicks.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what it is. You look at someone like Steve Jobs had the ridiculous amount of money. I mean, he had all the money in the world, and he still died from cancer at a pretty young age. So there's some diseases you can't stop, but I agree with you. Warren Buffett's probably going to last a little longer. And I think it's another wishful thinking thing for Mr. Sean.
You think Sean's
he's only
right
named
wing?
He's only named Democrat so far. But let's go.
Yeah, that's all he's named. That's it.
Okay.
Warren Buffett's number 10.
Not a bad list, though. I could see some people going, I have to get that down. You have to send that to me.
I can, too.
We have one more. I forgot all about it. I'm glad I got it. We're just going to call him Kevin because I don't know if he wants his full name used or not. Anyhow, Kevin's picks are Tim Allen. Tim Allen had that coke problem forever. Mr. Home Improvement.
He's got a new show now.
Yeah, but I think he's fine. Antonio Brown. That could be a suicide. That guy's a little fucking crazy.
He's nuts.
Next up, old Billy Clint. Billy Clint, you never fucking know. He is old as shit. His name could be popping up any second in these Giselle Maxwell shits. He could be fucked. Jim Nance,
never
sports announcer. I don't think so.
Jim Nance will look his same age when he's 100.
I think again that might be wishful thinking.
Clark.
He's a Northern.
He doesn't age.
All right, we got Miss Maxwell again. Fuck her, maybe. Jake Paul ain't happening, bud. Jake Paul's gonna live. What do you mean, Jake Paul? He's a young man in great shape, making $40 million a year, fucking doing some stupid shit. He's fine. Next, Nicole Kidman. Something wrong with her?
No, she's fucking hot too.
Young?
She's not as hot as she used to be.
Hey, Ben Shapiro. I think that's some wishful thinking on Kevin's part there. Ben Shapiro, another young man. I don't think he's gonna have any issues. Alex Jones, now that's one you could just see his head exploding at any point, just like he goes on his rant, the frogs are gay, and then his fucking head just blows off his body. So who knows with him? His heart can't be in great condition yelling like that all the time. And his last one, Miss AOC, which fucking got me, because Kevin's a big AOC fan.
And she's young. And looks very healthy and attractive.
She has a lot of people in this world that hate her for barely any reason.
That's the fact.
People tell her, she is the evil person because she's pretty, I guess. Even though she has the same opinion as most everybody on that caucus, she's the one that gets singled out.
Yeah, but she's different than the rest of them, in my opinion.
Because she's a pretty girl.
No, because she does the shit publicly and loudly. Some of the other guys do it.
They all do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, not like her. She'll go out to the middle of the fucking park and make a speech, and some whack job could try to. She'll be a lot easier to get to.
For the killing part, but I'm saying why people hate her. She's not doing anything different than anybody else, but people are putting more microphones in her face because she's a pretty young woman.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that the reason that if she does get it, it'll because she was much easier to get at. Than some of these other.
No, that could
guys.
be. She is very accessible. But she's also in New York where they do love her. I mean, she wins by gigantic amounts.
But like I said, she'll walk up to a public place and just start talking to people. You know what I mean? Some whack job. I mean, that's how fucking John Lennon died, and so many other famous people because they're out there.
All right, that is the death list. That is 2022 celebrity death list. Thank you. All right. I only did that because I'm going to cut that part out.
Are you?
Yeah, the death list will be as its own video.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the one time that I'm looking at this going, there's a lot of repeaters. I was really shocked that any of mine got repeated.
Now, a shit ton of yours did.
3 did. But Lamar Odom, come on.
4 did. But either way, yeah. Now, Lamar Odom's a pretty obvious pick. I think we had someone pick him last year, too. I mean, not that he's going to die, but everybody knows he's a fuck-up. And he's young, so you get those young points, maybe.
Well, maybe.
You gotta.
Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather?
you rather? I was thinking about would you rathers this week, and this one we may have done, but for the listeners out there, I don't know if we ever did it on the show.
Yeah.
I remember some girl asking me this, would you rather, and I thought it was such a good one, and I just don't know if we ever did it. So if we did it, I apologize, but this was such a good one. It was like the one last week with eating your own shit or drinking my pee.
Yeah.
Now, everybody I asked that to basically said I'm drinking the pee, but it was not an easy choice.
I listened to that with Kane, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, well,
What was his
he just happened to be, he just laughed. He's like, why are you talking about me? And just laughed about it. I don't think he really paid any attention to the actual would you rather.
All right, now this one, a girl told me this, and I'm sure she picked it up somewhere, and I just thought this was a great would you rather question. It's not one to think that much into, but it's a good question. Would you rather give the first 10 minutes of a blowjob or the last 30 seconds? Now, that's a really good question.
I think you have asked that one before.
I don't know if I have.
I've definitely been asked that question before, and
It's just a good would you rather question.
yes, it is. And
Because you're
it's
either
such a hard
sucking
one.
cock for 10 minutes
yeah.
or you're only doing it for a few seconds, but you're taking the load.
Yeah.
And the load, you can
That's the worst
instantly
part,
spit.
right?
That's the worst part. But imagine sucking a cock for 10 minutes.
And there's going to be pre-cum.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
if it comes out of your nuts, it's cum.
It's less, but it's
Yeah.
it's not the full load, but it's the
it's
the
like,
fucking just the tip of the
you
load.
can do 10 seconds. You can do last 10 seconds. Spit it out, brush your
it's
teeth,
so
and you're
fucking-
done. Or you could sit there for 10 minutes and work the knob.
This is a gross question. I hate that I have to answer it, and this is why people think we're gay. But
This is pure comedy, fuckers.
well, I'm not homophobic if I think me answering this question makes
No,
me gay.
me either. And me asking the question.
And in fact, it makes me kind of homophobic because I'm fucking so disgusted by it. Like it's just so gross to me.
Not wanting to suck a dick does not make you a homophobe.
No, I agree, but I could see how dummies could paint it that way. Is all I'm saying.
Fuck them.
I know how the brain thinks. I know how I can be framed for everything.
Yeah,
Either way,
idiots.
I'm not saying I
They're the
justify
people.
it.
Those people are what's wrong with the fucking country today.
Yeah, them and the blacks. Anyways, just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was just too easy. I'd say the shit. I guess I got to go 10 minutes.
Me too.
I mean,
I
that load
can't
is
take
just
the
too
load.
much. That's too much.
I cannot take the load.
I feel like that would haunt me so much.
And I feel like you could brush your teeth 100 times
That's
and
not
there'll
gonna-
still be swimmers in there.
Yeah, that's not going to change it.
And the whole point is, let's say hypothetically, you did the last 10 seconds and you spit it out and you instantly used fucking mouthwash and brushed your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You had cum in your mouth.
Oh yeah, it's not working out well. It's not working out.
No, I'm doing the 10 minutes myself.
Do you gotta fuck you?
I had Matt Hudson.
Okay, fuck you,
He's
Matt
my
Hudson.
asshole and my fuck you.
All right, so we
Hey, I really want you guys to win. I really do. But I got to put my money on the Titans. Fuck you.
Do you got a joke?
I always have a joke.
Let's get it.
Joke of the week.
Joke of the week. I haven't even thought of a joke of the week, so I'm going to have to search my brain and find one. We were talking, since we have our death pool episode, I guess I can go with a dead joke. All right, I'll go with a dead joke. I mean, I'm going to go with a classic dead joke. I told this already. I know I did, but I told it in the first 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time ago, and it's just such a good joke, and it's fitting with the death pool. So I'm going to throw this out there for those that have not heard it. Because I know it was in the first 20, 25 episodes. A couple is sitting on their couch. They've been married for about 50 or 60 years, and he grabs his chest and drops dead. Okay? Well, her life is over. She's been with this guy since she was in high school. She's everything to him, and he's gone. And she doesn't know what the rest of her life is going to be. So about 2 or 3 days later, she's at the funeral home with her kids making the arrangements. And she's crying and she's inconsolable. And the funeral director says, "Ma'am, I know how hard this is for you. But is there anything I can do to ease your pain at all?" And she goes, "Well, there is one thing, actually. Harry died wearing a brown suit. I hate him in brown. I always hated him in brown, and I don't want to see him for the last time in a brown suit." is there anything you can do? And he said, well, ma'am, to be honest with you, there's a funeral director after your husband's, and he's got a nice blue pinstripe, and his family didn't specify. I could switch the suits for you. And she goes, that would be wonderful. She said, Harry is my life, and if I could see him in this nice blue suit, it would be so nice. So after the funeral's over, she's passing out, and the family's got smelling salts, and her whole world is gone. And the funeral director comes over and he says, ma'am, I know how horrible of a day this is for you. My condolences, but how was everything? She goes, well, I really don't know if I want to go on living. Harry was my world, but the one little piece of heaven that I have left in my heart is seeing Harry in that beautiful pinstripe blue suit. And I really appreciate you switching him. And he said, well, to be honest with you, ma'am, I was a little bit short on time, so I just switched the heads.
Shit, I thought it was going to be the upper torso, but either way, just the heads is funny too.
That's a great joke, man. And I know I've told it, but it was like a year ago, man. A lifetime ago.
These are street jokes. You can hear them a million times.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can. I just switched the fucking heads. Imagine that woman. She just probably keeled over and
I got one last question was sent in by Harry, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and address this question. We literally only got a couple minutes left. If you pooped out of your dick, would you sit on the toilet forward or backwards?
Forward.
Forward? I think I would too, just because I think sitting backwards would be weird. It probably makes more sense dick-wise, because you wouldn't have to bend it as far and stuff. I don't know what...
If I had a boner, the morning boner...
Yeah, I couldn't poop out my dick.
No, couldn't.
I couldn't poop out my dick with the morning boner.
Do you know that Japanese people sit backwards?
I thought you were going to say they poop out their dick.
No, they sit backwards on
all
the
toilet.
All of them? That's their culture.
I don't believe you.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, Kane's in the studio. Hey, did you know that Japanese people, when they sit on the toilet, they sit backwards?
I'm done.
What?
You have to leave.
Okay. But you don't know. Hey, if you could poop out your wiener, would you sit frontwards or backwards on the toilet? Frontwards? You would do it frontwards?
I would too.
All right. I think Chris would too. Hopefully we never have to poop out our wieners there, right?
Yes.
All right.
I'm just verifying this, but yes, Japanese people sit backwards on the toilet.
Well, that's fucking weird. All right. Well, my fuck you goes out to Japan. Anyways, that is episode 110 of Never Trust a Fart. Join us next week where we may or may not have a guest, probably not, but who fucking cares? You know what? Either watch it or don't. I don't care anymore. Let's go.
Thanks, everybody. Get your taxes done. 1-minute taxes. Fuck everybody who repeated one of mine. Congrats to Brittany and Shingo and little baby Kenji.
Little baby Kenji.
Post some pictures.
Or don't. Why does Chris want to look at your baby so much?
I'm a baby person. I love babies.
I think it's mostly because you're autistic. All right, that's it.
Love babies.
You kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off.